Welcome back to SKA versus SCC-B in the Pan American Team League Season 1. We're going to game number 2 here with SCC-B up 1-0. And it is going to be between Demerdy, representing, I think, SK, and Makami representing Team SCC. God, I wish they had just the tags next to their names. Oh well. Anyway, it's going to be a Fighting Spirit, Terran versus Terran here. Going to settle into a long TVT matchup. Always my favorites, as in, god damn it, I hate my life. It's actually kind of late at night for me right now. It's almost 1 o'clock. So, this game may put me to sleep. We'll see, though. So, obviously, interesting things to note on Fighting Spirit is that you've got whoever's got the map imbalance generally has a slight advantage. So in this case, if we actually reveal the entire map, you'll notice that orange here has the slight map balance. Were you in CPL? Yes. But yeah, anyways, so what happens is both these players are going to go for the expansions, and then the third base, Demerdy here is going to have the brown Terran is going to have to take this 9 o'clock base instead of this 12 o'clock base, which is his natural third, right? Because you defend this one choke here, and then you defend this one choke here. But because if he takes this base, he's very close to his opponent. He doesn't want to take this base. So he's going to take this base, which is a little more difficult to defend. He's got to defend this entire wide open area right here in the middle of the map. And then defend this choke point that's really far away, because you can see from this natural here all the way down to this ramp, it's going to be very, very far away. It looks like here we go. Gonna go open up with a pretty standard forward racks. This is quite far in front, actually. And he's just hoping that this SCV doesn't get scouted here. It could be a repeat of last versus flash, but looks like, thankfully for him, Demerdy is scouting in the wrong direction. How do you follow the SCV? I guess that's only in observer mode. Looks like both players have opened up with the racks gas. Looks like Demerdy made his racks on 11. And Makami made his racks on 12, so just gonna be a little bit later. So his timing is gonna line up perfectly by the time he gets 100 gas here. And there it is, racks done, 100 gas, immediately building into that factory. Oh, I guess he milled the supply depot first. It's okay. But yeah, 1 Marine looks like from both players so far, nothing too crazy, and he's just gonna scout cross map. Or I guess check the middle here just in case there's a proxy, but I think a proxy would have hit by then. So like I was saying before, with Makami, he can expand to his 3 o'clock position, which is his natural 3. Again, you can take this ramp here and then defend this ramp here. And it's a very close rush distance compared to this natural here and then this base over on this side. So we're going to go look at this. Looks like floating barriers just for scouting information, and 2 Marines here from Demerdy. Very standard, very good against Wraiths as well, by the way. 2 Marines can do pretty well against Wraiths. 3rd Marine, I don't know if I like this. In TVT, unless you're going for some kind of really aggressive builder, they generally don't want to have more Marines. And he's also only got 1 guy on gas right now, and so does his opponent. Looks like Makami throwing down his 3 guys into gas right after he builds his command center, very standard. And this SCV is going to be able to get into the base for scouting information. So they generally want to leave the Marine here on this ramp, or at least build 2. And block, but now this SCV is going to get all sorts of scan information. Vulture first from both players, very standard again. And it looks like Demerdy is going to grab his own command center. So just a little bit later, I think it's because he built 2 extra Marines here compared to his opponent. So this Vulture, oh, looks like this Marine does have the kill now on that SCV. And Demerdy going to go for that kind of aggressive 3 Marine Vulture push. And he's going to run himself into 3 Marines. That is not good, not what you want. Vulture now down to 10 HP already. Got another SCV standing out here for Makami, just in case he wants another scout coming in, which is really smart, generally what I like to see. But yeah, right now we got to hold the top of the ramp with SCVs, because this Vulture here is actually going to do quite well, because he's gone for, well, was going for a machine shot, now he can't go for it. And this is the benefit of getting these 3 extra Marines early on, is that you're able to beat your enemy in Vulture battles. And SCV's coming out here off the line to try to help defend, but he's already lost quite a few SCVs. Lost, I think, 3 or 4 SCVs now. And this one last Vulture, I think, is going to go down. Needs to repair it. Oh, that Vulture does go down. If he can micro this, Demerdy will be in perfect position here. That's another SCV going down. Another SCV going down. And if we can play the supplies, 21 here to 30 on the other side. Already, we can see a big disparity between the two. And one has already got siege tanks and siege mode on the way with an armory already. So just in case of starport. But looks like his opponent, Mekami, is going to have to transition into possibly just going for a 3 racks vulture. Because of the fact that he needs to be able to find some ways to defend. And Barracks is going to be getting here to scout this, which means, again, play standard or play safe. Just get this siege mode up, set up tanks on this high ground and a little bit on the low ground. Block a little bit. Repair this vulture. Really nicely done by Demerdy here. And yeah, should be good for Demerdy in this matchup. Macro slipping a little bit, but we're just probably waiting for a tank to start up this. Well, a vulture. Okay, interesting. Maybe he wants to get up some more upgrades. There's the mine upgrade. Maybe +1. Generally, I don't see +1 super fast, but I like getting +1 really fast. I don't know why. So Barracks gonna get, again, scout information. Is gonna see the armory. Gonna see the 3 barracks or 3 factories. My apologies. And in the meantime, Demerdy looks like he's just gonna counter with a 3rd factory of his own, just to equal out the supply or the production capabilities. And he's already grabbing his 2nd gas here much earlier than his opponent. So again, because of that early vulture harass, you're going to see the disparity come out between the 2 players. One, again, only on 38 supply, and the other already on 44 supply with copious amounts of SCVs. And we're actually going to see a very aggressive push in here with the siege tank and a lot of vultures. Vulture is going to focus down the other vultures. Really smart here. 4 vultures against 2. Siege tank is going to unsiege, going to try to micro back right now. But it looks like Demerdy has the micro advantage right now comparatively. These SCVs getting pulled off the line again to deal with this tank. The tank got to pick up a couple of these vultures. These 2 vultures do end up living. And so Demerdy's attack, a little bit of a miscue there. But did make, again, force SCVs off the line. And, ooh, this barrack, see, I think this barrack should be placed before he was going to make that attack. Block off vultures from getting past. Because right now, it's not really doing anything. All it's doing is just letting the vultures attack it for free. But now going up to those 5 factories. Not adding on the 2nd machine shop just yet. I think he wants the 2nd gas to start kicking in right after he's built those 2 extra factories. And building a couple Goliaths here. This is really smart. I like it. It wards off any of these scouting barracks, which his opponent has not really pushed in with yet. But also deflects against any kind of dropship or wraith play. And again, this barracks, there you go. It's going to lift off. And now his opponent with speed vultures, but no mines, surprisingly. Mines is just now researching. Is going to be able to push and go for the aggressive. eBay, though, getting up here for Demerdy, so he's able to block up his choke a little bit for these vultures. Definitely don't want these vultures running to his base. And Mekami in the other time might go for a hidden base right over here. He's got an SCV just plopped down at this bottom right hand base, or maybe just proxy a starport of some sort. But Academy supply depot going down for both players. Again, Demerdy is going to have a slightly faster, just slightly. Again, he's got that economic advantage, and we can see the economic advantage starting to kick in. He's now up by over 10 supply compared to his opponent, who's again only running off of 3 factories and not macroing very well. Unfortunately, missed the macro cycle there. Demerdy, on the other hand, he's doing okay. He's again missing a couple. These guys are obviously on flash, just, you know, team league battles. At this stage in the game, I want to be careful of these spider mines. A big spider mine trap here. Uh-oh, that Goliath is going to go down. Oh, wow, living with 1 HP. One more mine up there. There you go. Well done. There's one mine here from Mekami. Is just going to try to stall a little bit. But now, here come the battle line setups, where siege mode is going to finish for Mekami, and both players are going to start establishing their line here. Ooh, Goliath does end up going down to spider mines, but the scan comes down, and this one tank is going to get isolated, unfortunately. And Vulture's just going to run right on top of it. Tank's not even needing to siege. And Vultures against tanks, not a very good attack. So we're going to see coming in here a lot of tanks for Demerdy. He's going to again use that economic advantage. Right, here comes the 3 tank push. I'm just going to pull back a little bit. But once he sets up this kind of contain here, it's going to be very difficult for his opponent to really push out anytime. And now missile turrets even going down here for Demerdy, really solidifying this contain. 3 tank push here, maybe get a scan off, maybe they're in range. Nope, looks like they're not. And a Vulture does end up going down. Again, his macro slipping quite a bit, definitely wants to get some more factories, and also missing a couple of cycles. Whereas in the meantime, his opponent, oh, well done by Demerdy, really taking the hurt on here with these fantastic macro cycles, gotta admit. He's also probably going to be up there. There it is, thinking about expanding to a 3rd base here. And really, Mekami definitely wants to try to look towards this area where scouting information. And even Demerdy's starting up a starport. Mikami also doing the same, but at this point with 2 turrets up here and a Goliath and a couple more Goliaths probably making, right? Nope, looks like none are forthcoming. Just a couple vultures coming out from the side. But here we go. Just gonna back up a little bit. See, I don't know if I like this because you're kind of giving up these missile turrets here if your opponent ever scans. Because now your tanks aren't in range to counter attack tanks here who are gonna target these missile turrets. And yeah, see, missile turret does end up going down. So if he had them a little bit more forward on this line here, maybe he can protect these missile turrets. Now he just ended up maybe going for dropship. But yeah, Demerdy's got a fantastic little sieged up position here. Tank's not even sieged up. He's that confident. And again, it's taking over this high ground location, which is going to be extremely difficult for Mikami to go in. And Mikami going for a desperation push here, but there's 5 siege tanks. All the tanks are going to go down. A couple of these spider mines will get planted. The siege tanks looks like they will go down here. Nice spider mines, but unfortunately, again, losing all of his tanks here at the top is just not a recipe for success. And meanwhile, Demerdy still has this big force here up at this 3rd base location. So really, Mikami just getting slowly choked out here, already establishing his 3rd base, immediately grabbing that command center and refinery. And now again, once dropships start making from this base, as well as the fact that he's already got a science facility with +1 plating, don't really need that. Only thing I would change here is probably add a couple SCVs onto these siege tanks. But again, look at this. He gets A move, doesn't even need to. Yeah, here comes Mikami once again, trying to go for a desperation push. Siege tanks getting the first volley off for Demerdy, and again, it's just not going to work. Demerdy has way too many units right now. He already starting to set up missile turrets on this side. Yeah, that spider mine not going to do anything. Just a little too late for Mikami to come back in this game. Again, floating a bunch of minerals. Really should have had those extra factories producing vultures, and his mineral count would go definitely less and less. He's going for command center now, but again, he's going to run face first into 2 missile turrets and 2 siege tanks up here at the top. And even a dropship getting spotted out by this missile turret here. He's going to offload one of these vultures, but another missile turret is in here. And Demerdy already in position to deal with it, and having a couple siege tanks to boot right off of this macro cycle. So this will be easily cleaned up, and I think at this point, Mikami can probably just give it up, considering he's so far behind right now. He's actually almost doubled in supply, not producing from these factories at all. Feels like maybe like a D+ level player. It was Demerdy, very solid player. Seems like probably B- almost, maybe even a little bit higher. His macro is just insane though, gotta say. And this is where Terrans just generally end up starting to come in more. But I don't know. I don't see how Mikami can actually ever go forward right now. This is the issue. If he tries to go forward, Demerdy's got a siege line waiting for him. He's going to get the first volley off. And you have vultures here spotting these couple tanks. And that's going to be GG. Mikami going to give it up. And SK is going to even up the series. SKA versus SCC. Gonna go 1-1 heading into set number 3. We'll be right back.